Live from the Ball State News Center, this is NewsLink Indiana in high definition.
Welcome to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Peter Hoffman.
And I'm Mackenzie Klahr. Thank you for joining us.
Last night, former Late Show host and Ball State alum David Letterman returned to the university, seemingly with the intention of just making a visit following his retirement. However, he gave Ball State students quite the surprise. NewsLink Indiana's Tony Sandleben has the story.
I am so honored and pleased tonight to announce that Dave has donated his collection of Late Show honors and memorabilia, including all of his Emmys and certain components of the Late Show set, to Ball State University.
Yes, David Letterman is once again giving back to Ball State, and this time, he's donating history. Letterman is donating all of his Emmys as well as memorabilia and parts of his set from his time as the Late Show host. However, exactly what he's donating and where it's all going are still in question.
I mean, there's a lot of unanswered questions, but the good news is you have to start by a cherished alum deciding to provide the university with his life history in the business.
Dean Lavery told me that the location of the display will be determined by what exactly Letterman decides to donate. He's asked students to be excited but patient, as the process could take around a year to complete. Now, in talks with the university about this project, David Letterman wanted to continue to make sure that this would be a dedication to modesty, much like his plaque here in Ball Communication.
He does not want a tribute to himself. This collection, he wants it to inspire students. He wants it to maybe transform their lives in some way.
Details still in the works could mean another return to the old alma mater for the former Late Show host. In Muncie, Tony Sandleben, NewsLink Indiana.
And Dean Lavery said Letterman was approached by both the Smithsonian and NBC archives about receiving his donations, but Letterman felt they belonged with his alma mater.
Today marks the fourth Giving Tuesday, a nationwide day for donating money. Lindsay Ross has more on the story.
4 Ball State University organizations are participating in Giving Tuesday, a day set aside nationwide for donating money to nonprofit organizations and philanthropies. Ball State University's Dance Marathon, Active Minds, Indiana Public Radio, and WIPB-TV are all asking others to visit their websites and make a donation. Alyssa Thompson, the director of dancer fundraising for Ball State's Dance Marathon, says Giving Tuesday gives people a reason to donate money.
More people are more likely to give since it is a National Giving Day.
Thompson says the organization has not always participated in the fundraiser.
This is Dance Marathon's first year really participating in it at a big level.
BSU Dance Marathon is participating at a big level, but Thompson says people do not need to give big donations.
Any amount is awesome. I mean, whether it's the change or in your pocket or whether it's $100, it doesn't really matter. The point of Giving Tuesday is just to show that any amount really matters.
People can make a donation to Dance Marathon by visiting bsudancemarathon.com. In Muncie, I'm Lindsay Ross.
The money raised today will go toward BSU Dance Marathon's overall total that they hope to raise by February 2016.
And Mark Zuckerberg's wife, Dr. Priscilla Chan, gave birth to their first child early last week. Today, Zuckerberg and Chan posted a letter to their daughter, Maxima Chan Zuckerberg, on Facebook. In the letter, they said they feel the responsibility to leave the world a better place for her and other children. In announcing their daughter's birth, Zuckerberg pledged to donate 99% of their Facebook stock, worth about $45 billion, to During Our Lives to promote equality and human potential.
Well, Peter, it was snowing one day, raining the next. I just never know what to expect.
We are well into an Indiana winter, kind of moving.
The warmest winter Indiana's had, actually.
Beautiful.
Michael will tell us what's coming up next. Michael, what do we expect tomorrow? Is it going to rain, sunny, or is it going to be snow?
Well, we could potentially see a little bit of all three out there. Maybe a peak of sunshine around in there, but certainly the rain and essentially the snowfall as we come toward the evening hours and those temperatures do start to take a drop. Temperatures already falling out there right now this evening, 35 degrees under clear skies here in central Indiana with the winds from the south. The radar is clear right now, but back off toward the west. This is our snow, this is our rain. That's going to move our way as we head into your Wednesday. Now, coming up in your full forecast, we're going to take a look at the timing on that rain and the snow, the return of sunnier days ahead, and maybe a slightly above average forecast. All that coming up in Maine weather.
A Catholic church wants to bring a Syrian refugee family to Indianapolis. Governor Pence said Syrian refugees weren't welcome in the state until proper security measures were put in place. This came after the Paris terrorist attacks. Greg Atalski, a spokesperson for the church, said they are still moving ahead with the plan. He said the church wants them here unless something happens that makes Indiana unwelcoming.
And Governor Pence made several moves today that were the result of a November 19th task force meeting on drug enforcement, treatment, and prevention. He will support legislation that expands the Lifeline law to include immunity beyond alcohol offenses. Pence will also work with several Northwest Indiana counties to adopt a program that will provide more treatment options for local officials when it comes to addressing drug addiction. The task force will meet for the 4th time on December 8th.
2 Muncie men were arrested early this morning for an armed invasion at an apartment near the Ball State campus. Police were called to the Grove apartment complex shortly before 1 a.m., where victims told police they saw 2 intruders with handguns inside their apartment after hearing a broken window. 21-year-old Robert Earl Booker and 19-year-old Harold Lee Smith are both facing preliminary charges for burglary, robbery, and intimidation. Booker was also charged with possession of meth. Police reported finding the substance in their patrol car after his arrest.
The Old National Bank on 100 South Meridian Street was held up this afternoon by an unidentified robber. Authorities are searching for the suspect who fled the scene with an undisclosed amount of cash. Surveillance footage showed the robber was a white man wearing a gray hooded sweatshirt with a jean jacket. Police conducted a search of the area while a nearby elementary school was placed on lockdown for about half an hour following the robbery. Winchester Police Chief Michael Burke said whether the man was armed remains under investigation.
Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel dismissed City Police Superintendent today. The removal of Gary McCarthy was in response to public outcry over a newly released video showing a white Chicago police officer shooting a black teenager 16 times. Dashboard camera footage from October 2014 shows 17-year-old Laquan McDonald walking towards squad cars holding a knife. He was later gunned down by Officer Jason Van Dyke. Van Dyke has since been charged with first-degree murder.
And coming up, how to manage stress throughout finals week.
And why schools are preparing parents for ISTEP scores. Coming up.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. With Thanksgiving break out of the way, final season is in full swing, and with it comes a lot of stress for students. NewsLink's Garrett Lampkin is live with one way that you can beat stress this semester.
Yeah, guys, some students will turn to athletics while others will just eat the stress away. But if you're looking for a more chill, relaxing means of de-stressing, you can come to the Reynolds Orchid Greenhouse. They're offering meditation sessions from 3:30 to 4:15 on Wednesdays. For some students, it's the healthiest way for de-stressing.
A peaceful waterfall and the smell of flowers can be a great way to calm the nerves as big tests and projects loom over your head.
I'm a little bit overwhelmed right now.
At the Rented Orchid Greenhouse, you can come in for a 45-minute meditation session, complete with time to talk about your stress with others, a time to sit and meditate, and a time to walk among the plants. For students like Amber Hall, getting to a quiet place can be all you need to relax.
I usually just take like a little bit of time each day just to kind of relax and just to myself, not worry about studying too much or not trying to overload time in practice rooms.
The greenhouse has everything from exotic plants to live animals to keep the mind occupied. For Matthew Modemeyer, getting the mind off all the work is what helps the most.
It's taking a lot of energy and anxiety and just kind of getting it out of the way in a really healthy and helpful way.
And it's stress relievers that the greenhouse are looking for. Anything to help students as the nerves really start to set in.
I'm nervous, obviously. I usually don't do good on tests anyway, so finals just makes it that much more scary.
And meditation isn't the only thing the greenhouse offers. You can also bring a sack lunch here tomorrow to eat away from those noisy dining halls. You can also come in this weekend to see the greenhouse all decked out for the holidays. Live in Muncie, Garrett Lampkin, NewsLink, Indiana.
Thanks, Garrett. For more information about Ball State's greenhouses, you can head to the net at www.bsu.edu and search for Orchid Greenhouse.
Finals are coming up in just 2 weeks, and students turn to caffeine to complete those all-night study sessions. Paris Bousselon has the story.
Finals week is quickly approaching the Ball State community, and students turn to caffeine to stay more awake and more focused. But too much caffeine can be addictive, and some students even go through withdrawals.
Finals week, when I'm in the library till like, good old 3 a.m., I'll bring like 2 bottles and have like a couple cans that day. I don't really know a number-wise, but it's maybe like 6 or 7 during finals a day. I've pretty much figured out it's 2 days when I stop drinking caffeine that I start to feel like symptoms. Biggest one of all, I'm sure a lot of people know, it's like the eye-piercing headaches. Like that usually happens all the time. It's not like a flu headache or cold headache. It's like you just feel it right behind your eyes, and I usually get that in like day 2 of no caffeine.
Okay, so normally in the coffee shop we have rushes. We have like our lunch rush and like we have breakfast rush in the morning. But like during finals week, there's like random rushes all the time. It's just like, especially at night, people come in like in rushes to get coffee and Red Bulls. And even I personally have been on the other side of the counter ordering drinks during finals week. Which then you have some people who come in and get like 6 shots of espresso, which I don't know how they're alive, but most people come in to get strong coffee, but still like sweet.
The Mayo Clinic suggests not to exceed more than 400 milligrams of caffeine a day. And just one grande-sized coffee contains 330 milligrams of caffeine. So for students pulling those all-nighters, just stick to 1 cup and you should be good to go. In Muncie, for NewsLink Indiana, I'm Paris Bousselon.
It is important to not consume an excessive amount of caffeine. Be safe about how many cans of pop, energy drinks, and cups of coffee you have.
And ISTEP scores have plummeted after changes were made to the test this May. School officials are calling the scores a false reality, preparing parents before the scores are released to the public. Superintendents from across the state have been writing letters to their communities explaining the scores. The test results will be made available later this month. The scores not only impact the future of students, but also the evaluation schools receive from lawmakers.
Henry County police say Hagerstown woman made up a story about being carjacked after driving under the influence and crashing her car. A local couple saw 32-year-old Meredith Christine Sams and her 4-year-old daughter walking along a county road late Saturday night and stopped to help. Sams said she had been carjacked by 2 men. She said the men pulled her and her daughter from the car and punched her in the face. Police found her car in a small waterway just off Henry County Road. Sams is facing charges for driving while intoxicated, public intoxication, false information, and failure to stop after an accident.
And a little boy from Evansville is making national news. He slept his way through his very first picture with Santa Claus. 6-month-old Zeke Walters dozed off while in line with his parents to see Kris Kringle at Eastland Mall last week. Instead of waking the boy up, Santa told them to let him sleep and improvised a bit. The result is this adorable picture. The photos went viral after his father, Donnie Walters, posted all the pictures on Facebook. Walters' original post has almost 500,000 likes and more than 250,000 shares. The Walters say they went back to the mall to tell Santa the good news. By the time they tracked him down, baby Zeke had dozed off again.
That is adorable. Peter, do you remember your first picture with Santa?
I don't want to, Mackenzie.
Oh, man, I'm pretty sure I screamed through the entire thing.
I was scared. I was out of there quickly.
I did not like the Easter Bunny. I did not like Santa. I did not like anything.
I'm sure it was mutual.
I ran away from clowns, too. But what are you going to do? Well, the weather.
It's coming up. Your full weather forecast, rain or snow. It's up next. Stay with us.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. The weather has been sunny, snowy, and rainy. 3 things.
It was all those over Thanksgiving break. Michael Barron's in studio tonight. Michael, what are we looking at for the upcoming days?
Well, for tomorrow, we could see a little bit of everything out there, but what we will see certainly is the cooler temperatures starting to move in. It's already moving across the country at this hour. 35 in Muncie, 34 Kansas City. You can see that really well-defined sort of area of cold air, and it is certainly in place here across Indiana. 32 Lafayette, 28 Kokomo, 32 in Indianapolis. Compared to yesterday at this time, we are definitely feeling the colder weather. Take a look at this. Down 11 here in Muncie, 11 down in Kokomo. Terre Haute, you're down 14 degrees compared to yesterday. When we look at the highs for tomorrow, they're not going to be that much warmer. Here in Muncie, we break the forecast down for you. Pretty much temperatures topping out in the low 40s in the afternoon hours and then decreasing throughout the day. We do have the chance for the snow showers in the evening and the big mix of rain and snow in the afternoon hours. That's something we're going to time out for you over on Precision Cast in just a moment. Now, radar here clear at this hour, but that weather system that's going to cause us the trouble is back off toward our west. Here's this area of low pressure. It's bringing that area of rain and snow right basically to our doorsteps for Wednesday. Now that whole system here, again, this wrapped up low, it is moving our direction on Precision Cast. By the early hours of Wednesday, plenty of cloud cover in place. The area of rain and snow still off toward the west though. As we get toward the afternoon hours, we start out first with those scattered rain showers. We transition over to a mixed period by the late afternoon. And as we head into the evening hours, scattered snow showers across the entire region, with the snow showers lasting into the later part of the evening hours, but they should wrap up by the early hours of Thursday morning. After that, our weather pattern takes a turn for the better. This high pressure system that moves in here, that's going to clear things out for the later days in the week and into your weekend, with plenty of sunshine in the forecast after we get past tomorrow. Now for your overnight tonight, temperatures falling 30 degrees, partly cloudy skies, chilly temperatures, the winds from the south in that 3 to 8 mile per hour range. For tomorrow, 42 degrees, rain and snow, all snow by the PM hours. Precision Cast not expecting a whole lot of accumulation, but certainly scattered accumulations across the area. If you get under a heavier shower, you could see a little bit more in the way of snow, but for the most part, not a real big winter event on the forecast for you. Your 7-day forecast here, as we mentioned, plenty of sunshine after we get past tomorrow. The temperatures, though, they don't get that much warmer. 40s throughout the entire forecast, of temperatures warming into the upper 40s, near 50 by the weekend. Again, plenty of sunshine around. The temperatures, though, the lows, they're all near freezing every night. So we are certainly in that December weather pattern, and those sort of 60-degree days, they're definitely gone.
All right, Michael, we'll be bundling up, that's for sure. Up next on sports, find out what Cardinal and Winchester native was named Player of the Week.
And your latest on men's basketball. Stay tuned.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, tap. Tap, tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
And welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Ben Shern with sports. We start out sports tonight as senior Ball State football player Jordan Williams accepted an invitation to play in the NFL Players Association Collegiate Bowl. To play in the game, created for draft-eligible players to showcase their talents to NFL scouts and executives. In his senior season, Williams ranked 6th in the MAC in receptions and receiving yards. The senior wide receiver wrapped up his career 4th in school history for receiving yards and receptions. Jordan Williams also is tied for 3rd in school history with 24 touchdown catches. The NFLPA Collegiate Bowl takes place on January 23rd, and you can catch the game on ESPN2 or online on Watch ESPN. You can also see Jordan Williams practice on January 20th or 21st on ESPNU or Watch ESPN. Well, and speaking of Cardinal sports, women's basketball player Jill Morrison was named Mid-American Conference Player of the Week for the West Division. The junior guard averaged double figures last week, averaging 16 points a game, 4.7 rebounds, while there was making 11 three-pointers. Morrison's best games came against Austin Peay and Florida, where she totaled 14 points and 6 steals for both games. Her efforts helped the Cardinals total 2-1 record for the week, getting victories over Austin Peay and UMass, as well as a close loss against Florida. You can catch Morrison and Ball State's women's basketball team next on Friday, where the 2-3 Cardinals host Ohio Valley. And staying with basketball, the men's team hit the hardwood tonight, just days after getting an impressive victory against Valparaiso. The Jaguars at IUPUI came to town as Big Gill and Nate Wells get fired up for the rivalry game. Trey Moses puts the Cardinals up early as he puts up a shot, but Bo Calhoun comes up with a rebound and puts the putback shot is good for the Cardinals, giving the early lead. Now it's Ryan Weber who was the story for the Cardinals as he had 3 trays in the first half, giving him 9 points. IUPUI would not give up, though, as Eastern Michigan transfer Darrell Combs converts the floater to cut the deficit for the Jaguars. Ball State's trying to extend their lead, but the ball is stripped away by Mason Archie III and converts the easy layup, keeping the Jaguars in the game. Jaguars trying to close in on the Cardinals, but Ball State's Trey Moses strips it away, and Jeremiah Davis takes it the other end for the reverse layup and gives the Cardinals a pretty comfortable lead. That's all Ball State would need, as Ball State went on to get the victory over the Jaguars 61-58. Francis Kiapwe led the Cardinals with 13 points, 2 rebounds, and 1 assist. Ball State is next in action on Saturday, hosting New Orleans at 2 p.m. at Worthen Arena. And finally, the NBA announced yesterday that Paul George was last week's Eastern Conference Player of the Week. George averaged 37.3 points during the week, including a 40-point performance against the Wizards. George shot from 54.7% from the field as well, and 57.1% from beyond the arc. The Pacers went 3-0 last week off of George's hot hand and extended their winning streak to 6. Indiana plays tomorrow night as they stay in Los Angeles to take on the Clippers. Well, Peter, hopefully the Pacers and the men's and women's basketball team can continue their success so far this season.
Let's hope so. Thanks, Ben.
Well, coming up, find out how Ball State students are putting a new twist on a card game.
All that and more with your NewsLink Entertainment next.
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self. And I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
And welcome back to NewsLink Entertainment. A new movie-themed party game called Buy the Rights is hoping to hit the living rooms of households everywhere. The game, which essentially is a mashup of Cards Against Humanity and Apples to Apples, Mackenzie, I'm sure one of your favorites, was developed by Ball State students. Tommy Day, a former student, came up with the idea for the game in 2014. The game consists of 4 categories, listen closely, of the cards, which are movie genre, hero descriptor, hero, and plot. One player is the producer, the others are the screenwriters, and so on and so forth.
The screenwriters will pick one card from each stack and come up with a pitch based on the 4 cards. The game was selected as a showcase game for the 2015 Boston Festival of Indie Games in September. In Boston, the group showed the game to over 100 people of all different age groups.
And apparently they got some pretty good feedback from that, which was nice.
Apparently. Well, Barons, one more time, what is the weather going to be for the next week?
Well, it's going to be a bit of a bumpy ride for the next 24 hours or so. As we start tonight, things not too bad, but on the cool side, 30 degrees our overnight low. As we head into tomorrow, 42 degrees the high, but that happens pretty early in the day. Temperatures go downhill in the afternoon. Rain turns to a rain-snow mix and all snow by the PM hours. Not a whole lot in the way of accumulation expected, but if you get under one of those heavier snow bands, you could see a little bit more in the way of accumulation, maybe around that ½ inch mark for tomorrow. Now, after we get past that point, though, things looking much better in terms of weather conditions, though not too much better in terms of temperatures. Sunny skies on Thursday, 40 your high, bumping up to 45 by Friday, 47 on Saturday, 48 Sunday and Monday. A few clouds work into the region here Saturday and Sunday, or Sunday and Monday, as a weather system does pass to our south. We're thinking we're going to stay dry at this time. We'll keep an eye on that system, though, and then more sunny skies for your Tuesday. The temperatures still in that 40-degree range, 46 degrees the high. We should be right about the mid to low 40s for this time of year, so we are slightly above average, but for the most part, pretty nice.
Well, 6 sunny days, I will certainly take that. Well, that's all for NewsLink Indiana tonight. Be sure to watch tomorrow night at 9 p.m. right here on Cardinal Vision.
And don't forget to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Take it easy, folks.